So last session, Apsinthos nearly avoided the consequences of his actions.
It's true.
Nearly.
He nearly
still
has.
early, though.
And
What else
further
happened? Try to keep
detailers,
going,
that is
doing
the only summary we're getting.
That's
I
only
thought that
the
was a
only thing.
self-sufficient explanation.
For him, that was a big moment. Most of the session. You also had good ideas.
Well, we had some good ideas. We
That's
had
the title. Yeah.
Anderos get got broken out by Kasdeya and Odril with some help from the dad. I wouldn't mind if Rast and Anderos' dad killed each other at that place, but time will tell on that one. We figured out.
Apsinthos' dream guy.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll see how this plays out. We figured out where. Oh, you know what's bad? I just blanked on the guy's name. The guy of the dead carcass, whose
the
spirits.
guy whose name that you couldn't spell, even though it's 3 letters long.
Ren. Yeah.
There you go.
Ren's body is up in a temple. It's not a pillar, but thing.
A tower?
The word is escaping me. A tower, yes. I thought there was gonna be a fancier name like battlement, but it's like no, it's not battlement. It's too fancy.
Well, we said it was a tower, and then I think Salty told us it's like the second story.
Say there are no towers. It is a temple. It's on the second floor.
On the second floor, with a window that's kind of half barricaded. Apsinthos had a half decent good idea to get everyone into the amulet, so Seabreeze can turn invisible and run up the tower, throw everyone inside, break out Ren's body and Anderos' mom, and hopefully we can just fly out of there afterwards. Crossing our fingers.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well,
And then we'll figure it out from there.
well, okay.
I mean, flying by the seat of our pants, that's kind of... I mean, if that's not classic Anderos, I mean, why do we even have him here? This is an excellent strategy.
To clarify again, it is also still not a tower, despite being mentioned as a tower 3 times in your recollection after I said it was not a tower. It remains not a tower. So the not a tower of where Ren is being held.
Salty, have you ever played 40k with like the orcs? You know how the orcs, if they believe something hard enough, it'll be true?
No, and that sounds like just kobolds.
It's not that far off.
Orc logic is amazing.
If I believe it's a tower hard enough, it will become a tower.
I don't think that's how it works, sir.
Once again, I pose the question: if you send an email to the orcs that say if you don't share this to 10 people, you will die. Do you think they'll die? They don't share it.
Oh, my head.
That's a good question.
Anyway.
You will leave that for other things.
Track on that.
Because
your beliefs-
it's orc imagination.
I
It
was
leads me nothing to the
running.
physical manifestation of this world. The dice are what matters. So
Oh, and
believe
Anderos
as
is
much as you
depowered.
like. Yeah, it's depowered. In more ways than one, apparently. But yeah, so Telrys got his desire back, courtesy of Odril, forcing it and taking a slight shock for it. Telrys is now burdened with crippling depression and realization of the fuckery he's performed. Tries his own redemption arc of some kind. Anderos is none the wiser, but still seems to be delighting in this. And yep, there's chaos going on in the temple, and your choice was to return to the scene of the crime.
Yes.
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 So yeah,
God
it
damn it.
is early afternoon, I believe, ish. As the meeting with Telrys and that entire thing transpired in the morning. What is the plan, or what's the current scenario? We're just kind of hopping straight into the amulets and heading on out.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's how we ended.
I was
We'll just
running.
making sure there was nothing else that came about, since you guys tend to have discussions outside of this, and I realize Only once I'm in session and am told that you have concocted a crazy, brilliant plan. So,
No, that
That's
all
why.
happened in session last time, miraculously.
miraculous.
Yep. We had
That
to do the
time.
planning in session because everything went to hell in a handbasket. So
Okay. So currently everyone is in the amulet. Is Bean following you from behind, or what was Bean?
Dealer's choice. I will tell him to follow, but yeah, not a hard command.
I mean, he takes everything as suggestions anyway, so he will lazily fly about in the air behind you, trying to keep conspicuous, or inconspicuous, I mean. But
Technically, I'm supposed to be able to give him commands, but yeah.
again, you can give him commands, whether or not he.
So the command is to try to keep pace, but I don't think he will be able to actually keep pace.
Definitely not. Now, if you're going your full movement speed, craziness.
Yep. So
I feel like he's more like an NPC that just kind of has to keep blinking into existence behind you once you get out of range.
right. That's sort of what I'm expecting. May we switch to the map of the city?
Yes.
Excellent.
Dragon.
Boop, boop.
Us out to. So.
This is such a big map.
Yes, it is. Because I've been trying to make things more semi-realistic looking, and well, it ends up being crazy that way. So.
Okay, so in my memorization of the illusion that Apsinthos cast, where am I going?
I mean, initially, just heading to the temple would be the first spot, regardless of what the illusion showed you.
But going straight there is what they'll be expecting.
Well, yes, the illusion didn't tell you what the best path was through the city to avoid everything. That is entirely on how you wish to approach this.
Yes, so my plan was to do the unexpected and probably go to the, assuming that up is north,
Yep.
probably go to the, what is that, east, and follow the ring sort of around to get to the temple by, like, circle, and then maybe going from here towards the temple instead of going through the plaza.
So cutting through Dawn's Respite and the High Council Hill?
Yeah. Here.
How long does the amulet allow you to stay inside?
8 hours, I think.
Oh.
But his invisibility, or her invisibility, only lasts an hour.
Something like this.
Are you staying invisible the entire run to the temple, or are you going to
Oh, yeah.
engage it?
Oh yeah. Do you want to do math? Yeah, I know. I was like,
I kind of don't. I kind of just want to hand wave him and say, roughly,
I was
let's
gonna
say
do
it
something like
takes
this.
half an hour, and just say you got 30 minutes left on your invis as you get to the temple.
okay.
Just cut it
Cool.
even. Make life easy and not do math right now. I've done enough math for today. It is time for fantasy math.
Sounds good. So yeah, I imagine the.
So something you will notice though as you're getting closer to the temple, especially as you're, kind of approaching from the side and seeing the walls, the guard density is starting to kind of pick up, and more starting like kind of making their way to the temple, and you see smoke coming from the temple. As guards are kind of milling about, heading towards the temple, a lot of them are also kind of controlling the crowds that are starting to form around, because, I mean, basically, it looks like the temple is under attack. So, everyone is kind of, there's a lot of bystanders, onlookers, kind of crowding around, trying to get a look as to what's happening. guards are trying to maintain order, kind of keep people away, forming a bit of a perimeter, preventing people from getting in. However, with you being invisible, you just kind of slip by. Maybe having to bump around the crowds a little bit, but not really much of a problem.
I'm hearing your voice fade in and out, and I'm picturing you reaching behind you for large implements that you're gonna bludgeon me with or something.
Sorry, I am actually moving around a little bit because I think a piece of my chair came off, so I am trying to find it before one of my dogs decides to find it and consume it.
Oh no.
So, hence why I'm fading in and out a little bit. I don't know why. Okay, I am going to hope it's just somewhere on my chair. Okay then. Anyway, so as you approach the temple again, as you get closer, the guards are stationed out front. Again, they've kept most of the bystanders at bay or pushing them away from the Dawngate Plaza. So now it's pretty much empty save for a lot of the guard. Smoke is billowing from several windows and parts of the temple itself. The main door, you can see scorch marks kind of coming from it.
I would like to go up and over part of the temple outer wall, not at the gate.
So go over the outer walls around the temple, basically.
Yeah, sure.
I guess that would be an acrobatics or an athletics. You're running up it, I'm guessing. You're spider climbing, or are you just actually trying to legitimately climb it?
No, just spider climb. Do you want me to make a roll?
Can you post a spell real quick? Double check and see if it actually has a...
Spider climb does not have a check.
I was just kind of curious what it, if it indicates what it is. Okay. Yeah, you probably don't even need to make a check then for that, honestly, because it's just acting as though you're walking up.
It's pretty handy.
Yeah, especially in a scenario where, I mean, it's not like a uneven cave wall or something where there's loose bits or whatever. It's a pretty well maintained.
I mean, if there's spires or something that I gotta like be careful to step over lest I get snagged or something like that, yeah, sure.
Nothing that crazy, but I mean, I feel like you're not rushing it, so
No.
I don't think you would be so careless as to get snagged on a ornamental spire. Oh, and yes, to answer a question from earlier that I forgot. For those of you in the amulet, yes, Madeline is there with you, though she has taken the form of what you saw before, kind of her younger-ish self.
All right.
And
Let's get
she's
her
just
to
kind of looking
recognize
most
the same
displeased
work.
at everyone.
And
Let's get me
Anderos.
into a really sticky situation, and then we can cliffhanger it into you guys talking with Madeline. That should be awesome.
Yeah, I need to roll hit die for that too, but during that time, let's see what kind of poop we get ourselves into first.
Okay, so over the outer wall, do I sort of see the place where I need to get to?
So kind of coming up over the outer wall,
Okay, these guys like, ooh, fancy.
so there's segments, of course, around it. I'm kind of just hiding rooms, I guess, at this point. This is just the main gate going into the temple. You can obviously go around the sides. There's just, this map does not have anything except for black tile set around it. So, you know, slight theater of the mind, I suppose, but go ahead and try to reveal it if it doesn't be funky.
Oh, let's say I came in over from here or something. I don't know.
Wants to
That's
be
okay.
nice and let me reveal. From the visions you saw, the room you're looking for is on the western edge, left end of the temple, on the second floor. That's not what I want to do. All right, you can see a piece of grass for all reason, I guess.
In my mind appears a patch of grass, and I have the urge to run across it.
It is the sunniest patch of grass. All right. Yeah.
I
Listen, I
send
can
a
hear
mental image of that to Bean.
Joy floods your mind from Bean. That is nirvana. That patch of grass, that is the perfect sunbathing spot. The sun is perfectly aligned to that spot.
Alrighty. I will try and shortcut this as much as possible by walking up to the wall and just walking straight up.
Okay. As you're walking, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Very dark in here. What is that? Oh man, I gotta turn on the light. Oh, that's an 18. Well, shit. It's a lot. Perception 22.
From inside, you can kind of hear shouts and clamor still going on inside the temple. You hear sounds of magical explosions and other things going off, and the sound of guards kind of shouting to each other. Seems as though Telrys is still wreaking havoc inside.
Nice. Okay, I am sort of, I will crouch on all fours, and then I will walk along the outside of the temple, sort of where the second floor would be in terms of height. So it would be walking beneath all of the second floor windows, but above the first floor windows if they exist. And
There are first floor
try-
windows, yes. Okay.
And try to go, this way above sort of everybody's eye line, even though I'm invisible. Just make my way across the building like an ant.
With your roll as well, go ahead and you notice markings on the walls as you're going across with that roll of yours. Go ahead and roll me an Arcana. You kind of get the presence of what you would assume to be some kind of magical spells inscribed in several points along the wall.
Is another 22.
You find several markings of the alarm spell etched throughout the walls.
I see. Have I triggered any?
You have not triggered any. Your perception was high enough that you caught up before you stepped blindly into it.
Okay. Do I have confidence that I would be able to see them now as I proceed forward along my path, or?
Yep.
Okay.
The rolls you get allow you to kind of pick them out and creep along them. Helps when you roll nice and high and can kind of see that.
I will continue my crawl along the side, and if nothing happens, I'll try and get over to the western side of the building.
So far, nothing happens. You circumvent the alarm runes, and again, with the commotion going outside, more of the guards are less concerned about looking up at the walls as they are trying to break down their own front door.
They're actually trying to break in the door? Oh.
Yep. You'll notice that the guards in the front are sitting there slamming their weapons against the door, trying to cast spells at it. Seems Telrys has locked himself in.
Excellent. I'll save
Or
my
they've
spell
locked him in
slots.
there,
I'll
but-
keep moving. I was thinking about messing with them, but there's a lot of guards. So, I'll keep going and try and get over to that western wall.
Okay. Nothing out really out of the ordinary again, out of most of the spells you've come across. And as you make your way along the western wall, go ahead and roll me one more perception check as you're scaling that wall.
That is good this time. That is a 12? 12. No. Perception, 14.
Okay. As you go along the wall, you kind of start heading to where you believe that vision that Apsinthos got kind of leads you, and you look at the different windows as you pass by, maybe poking your head up a little bit. The windows all look pretty normal for the most part as you go across. Several stained glass or just kind of nice ornate windows. But one stops you in your track as you kind of come across the window over here. At first, from the outside, it looks like any of the other windows, kind of nice and ornamental.
Oh,
I
I
mean,
see what you're saying. Yep.
It
Okay.
is the temple.
So I will. Yeah, I will. Am I still invisible at this point?
Yep, I'll say you still got let's say about 10 minutes or so of invisibility left.
Okay.
Because it takes you some extra time to circumvent the alarm spells that are on this temple,
Okay.
and kind of pace your way around. But again, with your high rolls, you did notice them a lot more easily, so you just helps kind of make that trip. But again, you pass by this window that, like everything else, at first glance from the outside, from any onlooker, even someone like yourself climbing up the wall, looks like one of the normal ornate windows with some touches of maybe some stained glass on the edges to give it kind of a like sun-esque appearance at the top. But on second glance, as well as again the niggling in your mind from the visions that Apsinthos saw, you look a bit closer and notice that there are several bars cascading across this one. And it seems to be very bright inside this room. Like at first it may look like a reflection of the light, as though the sun were kind of glancing off the windows themselves, but you also realize that that's not true for any of the other ones. The sun's not shining on this side. And yet this one seems to glow with a brilliant radiance.
This is fishy. I don't want to poke my head in front of a glowing window. And I don't have a mirror, darn it.
You do have Bean, unless you told him to go
I was
sunbathe.
just thinking that. So I will call Bean away from his glorious sunbeam. Bean, I need you.
Anything to help my familiar. What can I do to be of service?
Do you see this window? It's glowing inside. Can you keep your distance, but fly up over here and maybe take a peek? See what's in there?
I suppose. With a bit of a stretch in midair and a yawn, circles around a bit and slowly levels up to the window. I'll dawn, it is bright. It's like a reverse sunbathing spot. As for what I can see, I can't see shit.
So Bean has detected visibility 60 feet.
It's not detected visibility. The light is so bright coming from here, he's staring basically at a mirrored reflection.
Dang, so he needs sunglasses. Is what you're saying? We should put sunglasses on his token. Oh, that'd be amazing. Darn, I don't have a spell that will give him sunglasses. Well, thank you, Bean. I'm not sure what to do now. I hesitate to actually throw the amulet in there with everyone in there because it seems like everybody would just start taking radiant damage.
By the way, we can hear like what you're saying, so.
Okay. I'm not trying to hide it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of you.
Apsinthos will use this against you in your dreams tonight.
Yo, he knows better. That would be an unwise move. Assuming we live that long. So Bean has basically told me that it's so bright that he can't even see what's in the room.
That's the best description he can give. It's basically like, again, as though light were reflecting off a glass or like a mirror of sorts. It's just like staring into a very bright reflection. You can't see inside.
But it's bars. There's no window.
There's a window with bars on the other side, so the outline of the bars can be seen, but he can't see inside. Like, as in there's enough light coming from inside, or something is casting a light effect on this thing that it's basically like you're staring into light. There's a light source inside, basically, is the relative effect.
Only I had had dispel magic?
It'd be bright.
Well, gang, do I smash and grab and just try and make a hole so I can chuck everyone in there? Or maybe I can... Oh, maybe I can... sort of thieves' tool or something my way to detaching the window. Or opening the window somehow. Does that... Does the window look like it would open in some way?
Roll me a investigation, I guess.
Okay, that is a 23.
From a cursory glance, again, you're avoiding the direct line of sight of the window, it seems, but looking around the edges and such, it seems as though whatever they intend to keep in here, they meant to keep as a cell. The windows around the edges are all welded shut. There are no latches, hinges, or anything else for that matter on top of the bars that exist on the other side. It does not seem this was ever intended to open. At least not normally.
So I wouldn't be able to do anything. Okay, so it's no way to open it. I just have to break it. Sorry, looking through my spell list.
Bean is just staring directly into the light.
Bean, you're gonna go blind. Stop.
I am the harbinger of the dawn. This is nothing. Just so pretty.
She's gonna go. I have an idea. How much can this thing hold? Nope, can't use that. Everyone would fall to their peril. Okay, well. I will take a brief look around the area, because I think I'm gonna have to break this, but are there any other windows that I've walked by here or here? Or, you said, I think the second floor is the top floor?
Yes.
I would like to crawl up the wall and peek over to see if there is roof up there that's walkable.
It's more like a chapel roof, so it's like a spired, like
interesting.
a spired chapel-esque design.
Does the area over this particular room, or at least as much as I think the room extends, does it have a spire above it?
It's got a bit of a spire, yes. Like a curving slope into a spire.
Could I cut into the spire and get in that way?
With,
like a dagger.
I mean, it would take potentially a lot of time. It is like a fairly well-built roof.
So the spire is like metal or stone or something?
Like tile, like it's not ceramic, like a clay tile, like the tiling.
Huh?
What's all the word?
Oh.
It's not like a thatched roof or anything. It's a very posh, like, the temple is like the center point of the city, so they've spared no expense in building it. So,
So I
more
can't
like
I can't just rip off the clay tiles.
not easily, no. It would take some force, but potentially you could do it if you took some time to try and do so, or explosive wise or bludgeoning wise, but you're not gonna be able to like cut a hole with a dagger into it.
Right. It is if I go up there and I start doing that, are there places on the top of the temple that house like guards or parapets or things like that?
I mean, you don't know what's inside any of these. As far as you're aware, it's a 2-story building, so most of these would likely be potentially just attic space or potentially empty, or it might even be reinforced, but you don't know if there's any guards or persona in any of them.
I'm not asking about
beneath
in,
them.
I'm asking about on. So like if I started doing that,
Oh,
is there
like
people
on top?
up here
No.
that are gonna see me?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just climb like up into one of those and just start ripping tiles off. If I can't, like I'll pry with the dagger and then try and pull one out and then do it again, try and pull one out. And like hopefully underneath it's a wood lattice work that's holding this all together. And then I can break that. So it should take, I don't know, it's going to take longer than I have with the invisibility spell, but at least I'm on the building and not like hanging off the side of it. But I definitely don't want to break that window. That seems like a bad idea.
I'll say it takes 20 minutes, 25 minutes of like solid trying to pry these off with your dagger, like trying to displace these tiles and cut your way through into this kind of interstitial space between the room beneath you, beneath this and this cavity attic-like space. And as you enter it, it feels very, very warm in this space. Dark, it's a bit dusty in there, obviously. You don't see any access points. Doesn't seem like this is used for anything other than it just as a, again, interstitial space in the building.
Well, what's the
does your feet
floor
kind
made
of...
out of?
Huh?
What's the floor made out of?
It's... words. So it's wood at the point you're on. So after you cut the hole and look down to this interstitial space, that floor, quote unquote, of that space is wood from what you can see.
This is like an old cathedral. I'm expecting mason and stonework kind of making up the main pillars, and everything else. Cross beams and roofs and such are interlaced heavy wood.
Okay,
Yep,
Bean.
that's kind
Okay,
of what it's
Bean.
going with, but like there's likely a layer beneath that wood, but
Yeah,
just at least the layer you can see is a wooden floor, as though like basically it was a old scaffolding piece.
Okay, I'll call Bean inside there, and hopefully the space is big enough to hold everybody. And I want to shake the amulet a little bit. Okay, it's time to get out.
Yeah, the room is warm, and if you're going inside, when you kind of touch down against the wood, it feels warm to the touch.
Okay, everybody, quietly. Come
Okay.
out quietly.
Before we get out, can I ask about something like when we're still in the amulet? Like
Sure.
during the travel time or something? Okay, 'cause I have a shenanigans question.
Oh boy.
Okay. Okay, so Hildy's multi-tool is not an attunement item. My normal like default loadout for it contains 1 first level spell and 1 second level spell. So Anderos doesn't have any spell slots. He doesn't have any sorcery points. All of his resources are gone. Could I let Anderos hold my multi-tool and give him those spell slots? And also Heron is in there apparently, if I can leverage that to my advantage somehow.
Well, Heron is not... Well, that's a different story.
Right. Okay, fine. But
As far
the
as...
question stands.
Are you saying giving him the access to cast your combined spell effect, or giving him legitimate spell slots he can use?
What the thought that I had was that I wanted to give him the for the purposes of sorcery point conversion so that he can get himself a stony form.
You cut out a little bit there.
What did you hear me say?
Purpose of sorcery, and that's about it.
I wanted to give him the spell slots for the purposes of sorcery point conversion so that he can get himself into stone form.
I've got a much more thematic way to play that.
Okay.
So the idea comes to your head, Hildy, as you're kind of experimenting with it. And you hand Anderos the tool to see if he can...
Would you mind if we rewind just a minute? I feel like I would like to have an interaction before this.
Okay.
In the travel
All right.
time.
Further rewinding.
Sorry.
Put a pin in that.
Put a pin in this. To put a pin in this. To put a pin in this. You start your adventure in a tavern.
Andrew, everyone's inside the amulet. This is... Shred, what does this place look like inside here? It's your domain.
I've got a map that Shred sent me. I didn't think I'd need it, but give me like 2 seconds and I will build a map.
Sounds good. I'll put it in the chat as well.
I mean, it
How
can just be
dare
theater
you
of mind.
make
We
me do
don't need
things.
to have the exact map, but...
I have the map. I just didn't expect to need it immediately. So hold on and give me 2 seconds. Gosh darn it, Shred. How dare you predict the future? I did not give you access to clairvoyance.
That's okay. I've, probably rolled another 2d6 to cast it, so.
Alright, so sure. Good enough. I'll work with scaling later.
So
Alright,
purple
yoink.
and moody. Dude, look at the fucking pillows, bro. This place is great.
Completely on brand. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
know it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's no fire pit though.
Just
Maybe it
pretend the
doesn't need it.
orb is hot.
Yep. Yep. Gotcha.
All right. So we get inside. Anderos, from when you guys last saw him until now, has been slightly manic. He has been unable to kind of stop and sit in one place. And when we get inside, he sees Madeline, sneers, doesn't say anything, and just starts pacing, like restlessly and aggressively in a way. Just the other side of the room, and he is just pacing.
Anderos, will you sit down?
I've sat for the last month.
Okay, so
Why the fuck would I sit now?
Is pacing helping?
No, but you didn't help much either the last month either. Would have hoped someone would have at least tried to let me know something. Come and find me. It's been a month, and the only person I got to see was my dad and his fucking brute squad. What the fuck were you doing? Why didn't we have anything done?
Wow. Okay. You want to know what the fuck we've been doing for the past month, you asshole?
Yes, please enlighten me, as I've been tortured for the last month.
As soon as Apsinthos told us you were gone, we immediately started looking for you and got precisely nowhere, because how could we know? The city is fucking huge. Then your sister rounded us up and told us that the only way to save you was for us to go into the fucking sun. She sent Odril with us to make sure that we actually got that shit done. Yes, we know Odril. Hey, Odril. But she told us that whatever we found in the sun waste would get you out of there alive. So we fucking went there. We walked to the sun wastes on just so that we could confront a fucking treasure trove of trauma as we were forced to confront our own fears and desires just so that we could get ourselves in front of a fucking dragon who told us that the dragons and the gods are about to go to war because the pact is broken and also the world is about to be reset and some goddess named Heron is dead and is in my multi-tool. I don't fucking know. But then some presto changeo, they sent us back here, and in exchange, Pestles and Freya stayed behind. Did you even think to ask why they weren't here? Are you so far up your own ass that you didn't even notice they were gone? But I digress. We get hoofed back to the tavern, where your sister tells us that what we found wasn't good enough. And oh, by the way, you're still in prison. And we have 2 days. So yes, we wasted some time, but we only wasted some time specifically because we were doing everything we were told we had to in order to help your ungrateful ass. You're welcome.
My ungrateful ass, huh? And I suppose your little vacation is supposed to be, what, an apology?
We did this for you, you fucker. Maybe you should direct your anger where it belongs and not at the people who went through hell for you.
I distinctly remember someone telling me that I shouldn't be trying to do this all on my own. That I should trust the people around me. That trust got me tortured for a fucking month. So if you'd like to tell me how your little vacation was more important, by all means. It doesn't sit well with me. And don't worry, I've got a fucking bone to pick with her too. But it would have been nice if at least someone, as he turns and looks around the whole room, someone could have at least found me.
We fucking tried! Your sister told us that we had no choice. Yes, we fucking tried! Your sister
well, you
told us
fucking
that it was
failed
a
at it then.
We did what we were told to do, and Kasdeya told us that it wasn't enough.
Since when do you listen to people who tell you what to do? Fuck off. And now we gotta go do the thing we came here to do in the first place a month ago.
Well, then maybe you should ask your sister why she sent us to the desert only to tell us that what we found wasn't worth shit. That's why we wasted a month. On her behest. So maybe yell at her.
Kasdeya's looking kind of downtrodden a little bit as she's overhearing it. You can't really escape it. In a very soft, kind of weak voice, she goes, "Did find it. Just didn't tell me you found it."
Apsinthos is going to walk up to Anderos and just get close, but not too close. Like, not super in the person's face, but enough to be present. As soon as we tried, you disappeared from us, I tried to find you. I tried scrying. I've tried peering into the void. I even tried getting into your dreams. And all access was blocked off from the magic. Of course, we didn't know that there was a magical ancient civilization with anti-magic stones underneath the city. Well, that is something that we found, something we learned in the desert. As soon as we had a good idea where you were, Odril and Kasdeya were able to find your father and convince him, as much of an asshole as your father is, to at least get you out there. We weren't prancing around the desert. We were trying to find you.
And I'm supposed to feel good about that.
Well, you're not bad about it. I guess if it was me and then you were trying to find me, what would you do? You didn't even have a basis of reality to go off of, and the Shadow Guard was hunting you.
I'd find a way. I
And
wouldn't
we did
give up
find a way.
and run off on some goddamn errand.
She told us it was the only way.
And you didn't challenge it? You didn't talk about it? You didn't even try
really-
one fucking day? Kaz, one day! Fuck, you knew where I was! Why didn't you tell them?
Father had guards posted watching them. The Night Guard were literally outside. He told me to tell them to find a way to get them to leave the city. Or he would kill them all.
So it's all back to fucking Da. And now he's what? Fucking had a change of heart? Fighting everything he stood for now? What the fuck did you do to him? What kind of magic did you charm him with?
Kaz just looks over at Odril.
Master Anderos, your father is a stern man, but he lost his way many years ago. What we found in the desert, it returned to him his desire. And what the fuck might that be? Protecting his family. You see Anderos kind of balls up a fist and walks over. Are there, like, stained glass windows? What's on the walls of this place?
I think stained glass probably sounds like a good idea. You know, enough that's kind of opaque. Because you can hear things from the outside. You really can't see things from the outside.
Are there vases or other things around?
Vase is like a vase?
Yes.
Yeah, I think like a fancy noble's quarter.
He
Sort of
picks something up and shatters it against the wall.
Apsinthos winces.
Madeline too winces.
I think Hildy kind of cowers.
You're telling me you went to the fucking desert, met with a damn, wish-granting dragon, and you brought back Da's desire to protect us? What God's damn right does he have to touch that? Master Anderos, it has brought you from the prison. No! He doesn't get that right. I've spent the last fucking 30 years of my life serving that man, slaving to his whims, bleeding under his whips. And I'm supposed to what? Be happy that he wants to protect me now? How dare you, Odril? How dare you, Kasdeya? After everything we suffered.
At least your father had a change of heart.
My father deserves a shallow grave.
Apsinthos just stares. He's got arms crossed, a little bit of combative, personal stance.
Oh, now you're gonna grow a fucking spine.
At least you have the joy of someone who's beaten you to actually have your back for once under strange circumstances. Looks over to Madeline.
She's just kind of glaring at you, Anderos. As she kind of slowly strides over to you. And you feel, I mean, she's radiating power. She's more or less on the par with a deity at this point. And she just glares you straight in the face and just slaps you across the face. Be quiet of matters you do not understand. Your shitty childhood, while tragic and regretful, is not a catalyst of what you should do now. The plans he set in motion were to protect you. And what you do now is squander it like a child.
Squander it. Squander it, yeah. Uh-huh. Who was the fucking one who made sure we're going back to this damn temple? Me! Every fucking one of you wanted to turn tail and run because, oh, somebody told us to. No.
I was ready to turn this city apart for you, Anderos.
And then
I
you
was
ran
told
to
that
the
this was the
fucking
only
sun waste for a vacation.
It wasn't a fucking vacation, you motherfucker! You have no idea what I went through in that place!
I'm not sorry.
Neither am I.
But I'm not gonna sit here and listen to a goddamn lecture from a bitch who thought she knew the best way to fix the world was destroy it, as he turns back to Madeline.
She gives you a coy grin. It's still what's gonna happen if you let it.
That's why we're not. So, all of you are gonna fucking do something about it when we get there, right?
That's the plan, Captain.
Good.
Madeline just kind of again retreats to her side and gives you a very sardonic smirk as she leaves. And Kasdeya tries to move up to you and grab your arm.
Slaps it away.
Look, they did try to find you, and they were willing to fight the guard for you. I stopped them because I thought it would be safer if they looked for answers where Father fallen apart. So if you want to blame them, blame me. But don't lose the few good things you've got.
He could have come and visited. He dropped me off and said, I'll make sure everything's good, and then nothing.
I did come by when they'd let me. But you know, I still, in order to keep you safe, I had to keep the appearances the Father wanted.
In order to keep me safe. I'm sick and tired of people trying to keep me safe. It's gotten me nowhere but pain and suffering. So how about we stop trying to keep me safe and start doing the things that we need to do?
I had wondered how you built up such a great collection of friends here. A crew that seemed to respect you and were willing to take on an entire city for you. And yet, it doesn't seem like you've really changed. I respected you once, you know. Wanted to follow in your footsteps. We all fall, Anderos. And you better count yourself damn lucky you've got people who are willing to pick you back up when you've fallen. Because otherwise you'd have been left on the ground and kicked into the dust. She turns in a huff and storms away.
Anderos, again, fists balled, jaw locked in an angry scowl. Just shakes his head and steps away to the closest wall and just presses his head against it, and then slowly sinks to the floor into a squat, just staring blankly at the floor. What you guys don't see is there's 2, 3 lines of tears. And then a moment later, they evaporate. He just sits in silence.
So about my shenanigans.
To say, is that going to be retcon now, or is Silly still wanting to give him a
No.
multiple at this point?
No, I mean, I think that yeah, she might not be especially happy with him right now, but she also wants to be sure that he has a means of defending himself. So I think that she starts fiddling with the multi-tool just as a means to keep herself distracted after that whole interaction. So she starts fiddling with it and figures out, like, whatever you're about to launch into an explanation of.
I mean, do you give it to him, or is it...
Yeah, I'm going to, if that's how we're deciding, if we're going to decide that this is going to work, then yes.
It's going to be by him touching it, basically.
Okay.
At least thematically. It's not going to be just a
then I'll say
wireless
that,
transfer.
okay. Then I'll say that, just after a few minutes pass, she eventually, stands up and, just slowly walks over to Anderos and just holds the tool out in front of him. Here, maybe this will give you a little bit of juice.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe you could, maybe it's enough juice to transform one of us into, like, a flying griffin or something. I mean, after we get Ren's body and your mother.
Apsinthos.
Just silently reaches
One
up.
thing at a time, please.
Yeah, Anderos silently, without really even looking at Hildy, just reaches up and grabs hold of the tool. And there's just a very, almost inaudible grunt that you can possibly interpret as appreciation.
Okay, sure. So what happens when he takes it?
It explodes and you all die. We're starting to...
I can't wait to see what happens to the city when I explode.
No, Andreas, as you take the tool, you kind of hold it in your hand a little bit, maybe heft it around and just kind of dejectedly hold on to it. And perhaps a thought crosses your mind of course that's not going to work. Like, fuck does she think she's doing? There's an odd moment of kind of that emptiness that's been batting around your mind for a while. especially magnified in the past month of being left in this cell. But it's always kind of been there since Saloon has left, and it's only grown. And that emptiness, that void, finally seems to take form. And you feel yourself kind of getting a little bit of an energy, like a little static discharge. It feels like kind of arcing off the tools, you're touching it. Whatever was left behind when Saloon was removed, fed upon by the desperation and a loneliness you felt in that cell, feeds on that tool. And Madeline, as this happens, turns to you with kind of a raised eyebrow, and a coy smile seems to go across her lips. And you regain 2 sorcerer points, and the tool is discharged. Or, well, empty.
Indeed. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
It has kind of a cold, empty feeling to it. And Apsinthos, or not Anderos, when you kind of look down at your hand after it happened, you see void runes, faintly toying about at your fingertips before they vanish.
She kind of stares at his hand, watches them go away. His tongue along his lower teeth. Turns over and hands it back to Hildy. That's something.
Good. I'm glad it worked.
Let's get my mom and get out of here.
What?
Say that again.
He said, let's get my mom and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
So if there's anything else, then the next thing you'll hear is Seabreeze whispering to you inside it to, come on out.
Oh, that was fast. I knew I could trust him to get the job. You could trust her to get the job done quickly.
Okay, I need help.
Can I also roll some hit die? Please.
I mean, you would have done that during the downtime, right?
Yes.
People had already done so.
Yeah, I think it's what, if you spend 10 minutes in the gem, it
The
counts as a
thing.
short rest.
Yep. And then I'm going to add the proficiency to that too.
And your con mod to each dice.
Oh, then that's more than enough.
Yeah, I think you can just roll the hit dice button on your sheet. If you click the short rest button on your sheet, it'll ask you how many hit dice you want to spend. But
You spend all of your
Okay.
hit dice?
No, I spent 6 of it. My brain did not think about the con mod, but I needed to regain like 30-something hit points, so
you got that.
more or less.
Odril got his hit points back as well from when Telrys zapped him.
So, welcome back. We are above the room that I think we need to be in. But it is like the inside is made of light. It's crazy. Or the window was. I was very scared to break the window. It was blinding. So I dug us in here, and the room should be beneath us.
you guys leaving the amulet or are you staying inside?
I mean, do we
Probably
have a
leaving.
choice in the matter, or I just assumed we were all ejected out?
When I get ejected, I think we all do.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we all come out.
Yeah.
In the super high... it's like a clown car. I mean, is this a safe spot to get out?
You're in a basically interstitial space above a room. But safe is a relative word.
So, like, between the ceiling and the roof, basically.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just a empty spot that could be an attic, but not being used as one. So it's just basically a air trap for, temperature regulation at this point in the way they constructed the scaffolding.
Okay.
But like I said, the room is warm, floor is warm to the touch. You hear commotions, explosions still kind of echoing through the temple.
Suppose we could start prying up the floor to get to the room beneath, but I wanted to have all of you out here to help. Maybe there's a good way for us to get in from here?
Do you have any way of knowing what's on the other side of this ceiling, this floor?
No, Bean could not see through the window. I think he is still floating up, looking in, and it's just so bright. We cannot see him.
Ooh.
We could tell there were bars, just like
Roll
in the-
me stealth checks if you're trying to be quiet up here and such. Or are you just kind of talking openly?
I'm trying to be stealthy, yes.
I mean, I would be trying to be quiet, but I'll roll stealth.
Yep, roll me some stealth checks.
26.
Should everybody roll, or just people? Who
Everyone
talked?
who is outside of the amulet now and in this space.
Yeah, I know it's schematic, but we're all just kind of floating in space outside the tower.
Sorry, guys.
Alright.
Don't worry, there's no wheels of cheese for me to trip and knock everywhere.
Well, actually, it's a perfect space to store some cheese for fermenting, so...
My God, if I roll a nat one, that's that is actually what it is. I rolled a 5. Heavy armor is not actually a thing though, so.
Well, okay. It's been nice knowing you guys.
Odril is also
Okay.
heavy armor, so yeah, his was disadvantage with his -1 dex mod.
So you try to come out, but kind of are clanking about, floorboards are creaking. Not
I should've-
exactly stealthy, unfortunately.
I should have
Okay.
cast silence.
Odril will actually, as the noise is made, he grimaces a little bit, and he will actually cast silence.
Well, so now we can't talk. Okay. Well, Apsinthos can talk.
Yeah,
So one person
we're
at a
just
time.
in this 20-foot radius sphere around us, so is silent.
Does that move with us, or is it just fixed there?
It's a fixed thing.
Okay.
So out of character, obviously. So you cast silence, and that would extend through the floor, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is a 20-foot radius.
Well,
sphere.
in that case, I have an idea.
Yeah.
If this is silent, is everyone cool with something destructive?
That was
I'm going to take that silence as a yes.
kind of the purpose.
Seabreeze goes backs up into the tiniest corner.
Wait, if it's
Really
shatter,
shit.
doesn't need a verbal?
Yeah,
Which
you
doesn't work in
can't
this
you
island?
can't cast a spell
Yeah.
in silence.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, never mind
I
then.
thought you were gonna put a hand grenade in. That's what I was thinking you were gonna do.
Yeah, I was going to say, Foxy, Foxy, what? Sorry, that's my dog's
Foxy.
name. Salty.
Foxy.
What?
I'm sorry, my
Salty-
dog is right next to me. My
Salty
bad.
is now Foxy.
Sorry.
Bark, bark.
Bark, bark.
Bark, bark.
The return of Bark Bark, episode 101. It has it all. Anyway, so okay, let me try this again. So shatter doesn't work. So it's usually safe to say that Hildy has some kind of explosive on her. Would you allow me to say that she has a bomb or 3? Like, could I blow through this floor?
I thought you made some already. That's some. But you made a bunch of.
You know
smoke
what? I
bomb.
think you're right. I did. No, I
You were
think I
making
did.
some for
Yeah.
the terrorist attack on the poor guild store.
Those were smoke bombs. Thank you.
I mean, bombs are bombs.
Okay, fine. I want to blow through this floor.
With smoke bombs?
Well, I was hoping that you would allow me to say that I have some kind of because my intention with Hildy is that she always has an explosive on her. So I would like to.
How does she have a way to actually make explosive bombs that would be relevant for that?
I don't know. I mean, we've never really talked about it, but that's been kind of I would assume that she has. I don't think that she would know how to make her own bombs, But I mean, if that's something that we need to hammer out the specifics on, that's fine. We can do that later.
I don't know if she has a way to make it. I do remember she made bombs with her father. I don't remember if you still have those. Because I remember.
Well, I have those.
Well,
I'll tell you what I do have. I have those explosive flawed crystals that I got from my dad.
I know you have those crystals, but I thought you also made bombs with pestles with your dad because you were looking gunpowder, or he was looking gunpowder at one point. Didn't you guys make bombs? You were testing it? There's one session where we literally had you guys bonding over explosives.
Yeah,
what
that was
is
back
the floor
in
made of?
wood.
Control flame does not require a verbal component.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Control flames needs existing flames.
Smoke bomb.
That's smoke.
Don't you need fire to create smoke?
Not
None
necessarily.
of us can hear anything. I'm just gonna start tapping Thamor on the shoulder and pointing to the floor.
Yeah, I mean,
at this point, that would probably.
Odril at this point has probably pulled out his either warhammer or a hand axe, and just looks over at Thamor and nods.
Yep. I stand back. I try and clear people away.
Okay.
Can Odril
attacking the floor?
Can Odril make a check? He does have proficiency in masonry's tools.
Ooh.
Can he make a check to understand where would be the safest place to cut a hole that wouldn't cause this thing to collapse?
I mean, it's wood.
Right,
so,
but he'd be looking out to the the edges to see the stone supports of this, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, go ahead and roll me a what's that under? Like, is that? I think it's a wisdom
tool.
thing, right?
Wisdom.
Yeah, but isn't
Wisdom makes sense. Wisdom or intelligence?
Let's go with wisdom.
Okay. I will do that with this dice. That is a natural 17 on the die, plus 7, so 24.
As you look about, I mean, your knowledge extends to masonry, not necessarily to architecture, I suppose, but you kind of look about. The floor is a bit creaky and worn at points. I wouldn't say that he would inherently know a safe place to hit it with a hammer and not cause structural damage.
I mean, the point is to cause structural damage, just not cause us to all fall.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that would be a very inherently obvious thing, with the fact that controlled warhammer destruction isn't exactly a science. Hitting it with a big blunt object will likely cause the roof to cave in.
Yeah, but he's surgical.
Can I interject? Hildy might actually be able to help with this one. Like, if Hildy sees Odril checking out, trying to find a place to go through this. My background feat is urban infrastructure. It specifically says provide knowledge of entry points, structural weaknesses, or secret spaces. Can I help Odril find a suitable place to break through the floor?
Oh, D&D, your range of random niche applications of things never ceases to fucking amaze me.
I love it.
Oh my god. Alright. Fuck it, fine, alright.
Yes!
Yeah, Odril, you look around and you're like,
He does
It-
also
it
have
looks
hand
stable.
axes, so.
case in point, you're applying blunt force trauma to a structure. You're not going to cut a perfect hole. You're probably going to cause a roof collapse. But before you start hammering away with wild, somewhat calculated abandon, Hildy kind of interjects and sees what you're trying to do as she's looking for bombs in her pack. And instead of just letting you go to town with that, she helps you set up like spiked parts with your hand axe and mace to create, like, basically put hatchet in place, tap with your hammer to create scored marks around an area, and then you create a nice cut area with scored marks or edges so that the slam will break those points and not the rest of the surrounding structure.
Cool.
How about that?
Perfect.
Hildy reaches out and offers Odril a fist bump.
He nods, doesn't understand what a fist bump is.
She will reach out, grab his wrist, hold his fist up, bump his fist, and then drop his fist.
Somewhere the DM dies a little unside on all this.
It's here. You died here. You were today years old when you died from D&D.
Oh no, it's been multiple times. This is just another scenario.
Yeah, okay, get in.
It reminds me of the cave-in event of like, how do we just structurally not kill ourselves?
Look, I'm
This is definitely the chair of this episode.
I'm just remixing the old favorite of a minor in B flat.
Except it'll be.
God damn it.
So we cut a what amounts to a pallet out of the ceiling, and it drops to the floor with a silent clatter, or something.
It drops to the floor. Yeah.
And then Seabreeze becomes Ceiling Cat and tells us.
I
there.
jump in immediately after.
Quick, make a con save. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so as you bust and cave in this pallet of wood, a bright light flares up from the room below, nearly blinding everyone that's looking upon it. And through, squinted eyes and hands raised, kind of looking into the room, you see Amara, eyes closed, hands outstretched. She doesn't seem to be paying any mind to anything around her. You see magic kind of emanating off her. And in the center of the room, chained to a grate beneath him, is this charred corpse of a humanoid male, eyes and hair glowing with a raging, radiant light. And as you break the floor and the pallet clatters beneath you, she doesn't move, but this thing looks up.
I cast chill out, bro.
It's not very effective.
Damn.
This thing, you mean like the corpse looks up?
It's
Whatever that thing is.
some semblance of life seems to remain, if that can be said. But yes, it looks up. Its eyes and mouth and orifice, just every orifice its hair is just glowing with radiant light. But the body is seemingly almost burnt to a crisp.
Is the body the source of the light that I saw from outside the window, or did the window have its own light source?
It's hard to tell. The room is just bathed in radiant light. From this. It is the source of light. Whether or not it's the source of the window, you don't know. But this thing is the source of light in the room. Blindingly so. It does not utter a word as it sees you. Its mouth seems to try to move, but just in a horrid mimicry of speech as its mouth kind of cracks in its movement.
Well,
Odril will get out a rope from his pack and allow people to lower down once everyone is down. He leaves it tied up to the top. He will be the last one to climb down and step toward Amara.
Is he still maintaining silence?
Yes.
Her eyes are closed and in concentration, and she doesn't even seem to really acknowledge your presence. And she seems to be casting maintaining some sort of spell in front of her. The thing follows each of you down and just stares, mouth agape, light pouring from every orifice at all of you as you enter the room.
Tell what spell she's concentrating
You can roll me a... I would say religion more than likely, but it is a cleric spell.
No arcana, huh?
It's not a mage spell, so hence why I'm...
That is a 6 or a 9. Well, anyway, it's not great. It's like 13 or less.
Okay. You don't recognize the spell. It is clerical in nature, but you do not know which spell she is casting.
Okay.
Would the spell be interrupted by the silence?
If she's just concentrating on it, that means that she's already used the verbal component, right? I mean,
I just say I don't think it
Okay.
interrupts one that she's already...
Okay. Yeah. Okay. If it's already casting, I didn't know. You're kind of saying she was like chanting in a spell, but
Well, I mean, it's hard. I mean, not she, but she's maintaining a spell. Like
That's
her.
hey, Salty, the answer to this is no, that's fine. But I just realized that my religion is actually pretty decent. I just rolled a 23. Do you think that Hildy might be able to, can I give this a try? Because I think that if she saw light coming out of him, she would want to know what the hell is going on with this thing. I rolled an 18 plus 5, so
You have proficiency in religion?
no. I just have a 5
Oh.
int.
It's like you're just super smart.
You can give it a shot.
Well, no, that's what I was saying. I just rolled an 18.
Oh.
23 total.
Actually. She is maintaining a beacon of hope.
Beacon of hope. Okay. I imagine that Hildy at some point during her studies of the weave and whatnot, at least touched upon the concept of holy spells as opposed to just pure arcane spells. So she's at least familiar with what's happening right now.
Perhaps maybe maybe you try to replicate at one point to see if you could create artificial holy spells or something, but yeah. She's maintaining beacon of hope at the moment.
Okay.
yeah. Anderos has not come down the rope. He's still up in the loft. Odril walks up to Amara and will kind of place his hands on her shoulders.
Her eyes flicker open. Her hand's still kind of radiating the magic as she turns. And you see a mixture of a bit of relief and a bit of annoyance cross her face. And she begins to speak, realizes it's muted, kind of gets a grasp on the surroundings, before she just kind of gives Odril a very stern look of disapproval.
Odril sees it, and then just glances up and gestures to Anderos, still standing up in the hole. And then he beckons to her to leave.
You see her nod her head no.
He'll turn and point down to the body and kind of make a questioning gesture.
She just nods. Again, tries to... You see her kind of try to figure out the way to explain, but kind of again shakes her head a little bit and just seems to set her face, like set kind of a very firm look upon her face.
And you said the body is chained to the floor?
It is chained to that grate beneath it.
Odril will see the chains, kind of kneel down and touch one of the shackles, and then mime a key to Amara.
You take 36 points of radiant from touching it. It is like touching fire directly, but it sears to your very core as you touch it. And you see her eyes raise in alarm as she shakes her head. Vehemently no. Like, don't do that.
Is there any part of this room where one could stand and not be in silence?
If you cast the thing above you, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius, so it's a fairly large sphere.
Can Bean go look in other windows?
Bean is, for the most part, the second floor seems pretty empty from looking through the windows. He does
This one in
alert you.
particular.
There does seem to be a guard outside in that area outside the door.
Oh, okay. All right. So, Seabreeze will motion to Apsinthos and Hildy, point to the door, and say, hold up one finger. Maybe they get it.
Wait, where is she pointing?
Towards the door, the north door. This, this door.
Oh, okay.
And then one.
Apsinthos going to want to use telepathic speech because he's too freaking stupid for what the one means. One? You
so
mean
I can
there's one?
respond.
Yeah,
I can respond in
telepathically.
my head. You can hear it.
Yeah.
There is one guard outside this room.
Hmm.
We need to work on our hand signals.
Kind of figured you would be one.
You people are awful at this.
That's why we're not spies.
I know. While we are talking in our heads, why doesn't Odril drop the silence spell?
I think we can get the... It's a good idea, actually. We can get the guard in.
No. we should try to extract both of these outside. It may be difficult with that. Ooh. And she's like shielding her eyes, as I'm imagining everyone is. From Ren's body, I can only assume.
Yep. It is very, very bright.
I don't know how we will get... Well, I mean, I have some ideas, but it seems like this body is chained to the floor for a very good reason. I don't think any of us could touch those chains, or maybe even Ren's body itself.
So how do we get Ren out of here then?
Well, I can do things like cast floating disc, but we still have to get the body onto it, and then I think we have to go out the window, and then the disc will float down. But if we are to fly away unseen, or at least have a chance of flying away, whatever is doing the flying will have to carry the body. But regardless, I think we need to talk to Anderos' mom. This is all in her head, so...
Yeah. Do you want me to ask Odril to drop the silence, or do you want us to mug the guard first?
I think we should do all of this without opening that door. Points to the door, you know. We don't need to go outside this room. We can just take... This is our objective. These two are our objective. We just take them to the hole that we made and escape. But we need to know how to transport the body. So, yes, we need to talk to Anderos' mother.
Do you have Bean watching? Like, is he still just patrolling different windows, or do you have him watching any window?
I want him watching this window, honestly.
Okay.
I assume that Seabreeze and Apsinthos are staring at each other.
Yes.
Like men staring at goats? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
He will see this and step over to Apsinthos and questioningly, like pointing to his head and then pointing to Seabreeze's head as well, and then like mimes talking.
Yeah, Apsinthos is kind of doing that. He's doing the mental thing. He's double tapping his forehead with a thumbs up.
And he points to... He gestures toward Amara and then taps his forehead and gestures to her again. Basically signaling you, go talk with her.
It's
Because, oh my god. Craig, what have you done? What have you done, man?
He's gonna be the hero. He's gonna do it. He's doing it. Apsinthos is gonna save us all.
Give me a second to mentally prepare. Everyone's like, don't stop invading my mind. Stop invading my mind. Don't invade her mind, man. Do it. Do it.
It's gonna be worth it this time.
After 100 sessions.
Let's go.
Yes. As he gives the thumbs up over to Anderos and kind of gestures a little bit to Seabreeze, he's gonna look on, step a little bit over, and then try to do telepathic speech with Amara.
Her eyes widen for a minute as she realizes what's happening, and then she kind of narrows her eyes at you. What are you doing here? I told Odril to take you all and leave.
If we don't get Ren out of here soon, there will be bigger problems, such as the Council controlling the sun.
Understand, I told Odril that Telrys was wrong.
Just because they're wrong doesn't mean they're still not going to try it.
You don't
Well, help me
pauses
understand.
For a minute. You see her eyes grow wide as she looks past you to the door beyond.
Is the guard doing something?
Yep. The guard comes to a weird attention, and the being kind of relays this, or I guess maybe you can look through your familiar's eyes, right?
If I focus on it, so I moved so that I'm inverted above the door, so if he comes through, I can just stab down.
Well, more so, Bean is kind of urgently. You see this?
What?
The guard
Me?
goes to full attention, walks, and you see him kind of tremble as he opens the door. You need to run. You need to get out of here.
Not without Ren.
Can't take him.
Well, then what? We're just gonna let the council become gods?
It's not the council you need to worry about.
What do I need to worry about? Guard calling in reinforcements? The Shadow Guard?
You need to worry about Saloon.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Seabreeze.
Can we be instruction time?
Oh fuck.
Oh my god!
Can we be instruction time?
Oh, bro.
Oh,
Free, please.
All right.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. This is the first time you heard Bean
Oh.
actually have worry in his voice, as
Yeah.
this almost ethereal half-elf is just calmly walking to the door, exuding an aura. Like, Bean, even looking upon it, is just seemingly going, not blind, but the vision seems to blur around the edges around this being. As she carefully and slowly walks towards the door.
Fuck. No. Fucking silence spell. Okay. So when Bean goes, gets shocked and sees her come through the door and maybe gets to the spot where she is, Odril, you're right next to the door, at least 5 feet away, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Seabreeze will drop in front of the door, and if he's facing or if he's not facing, she will grab him and look him in the eyes and mouth, drop the spell. Like, violently shaking, drop the spell.
Yeah.
And that's sort of her turn, I guess.
Okay. What's everyone else's turn then in this reaction? I guess we'll just kind of go in a relative rough order. Not gonna, unless you want to roll like initiatives and turn this into a true structured
fine.
event.
Nah,
I'd be
I
fine
don't
with
think
that. I would really like to do that, as a matter of fact. Because I think I might outroll Saloon. I just want to see if it happens.
Everyone does have Gift of Alacrity minus Anderos and Kasdeya and Odril.
Also, yeah, where is Kasdeya?
Oh, right. We have to drag her token in.
Did she drop down, or is she up with Anderos?
She's up with Anderos right now.
Okay.
She would be staying kind of... Like, she sees Amara and she wants to help, but she sees everyone else already kind of down there doing stuff, so she's kind of just up there waiting to, like, make the escape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's no way out of this. Well, I'll just roll it.
Okay. Are we rolling initiative, everybody, or? Yeah.
Are we turning this into a structured event?
Just for the hell of it.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
4.
Right.
Woof.
Well,
Yeah.
you to it. I mean, I'm basically going to say that
Oh,
the
okay.
turn you took, Seabreeze, was you causing the turn order and seeing her and all that and asking
Yeah.
to drop the spell. Saloon, I'll say that the action that she had was stepping from the door there, basically, so she's in the middle of the room now.
I would say, because again, dropping a spell is an incidental that can happen at any time.
Yeah.
So I would say the moment Seabreeze did that, Odril would let the spell drop. So as basically Seabreeze's turn ends, silence falls.
Okay. And as silence falls, you notice, I mean, again, apart from the tension in the room, the explosions and noise that Telrys have been causing are gone. It is
Oh, this is
eerily silent,
crazy.
save for the footsteps coming towards you.
What do you do? She can wish us dead.
Okay. So
So
say
the
that her
spell
movement
is
was
dropped?
that.
Can I talk now?
Yep, but I mean, we're in structure time, so
Do you want to wait? Yeah, okay. All right. Wait.
Anderos. Weird having NPCs in my structure.
Does Anderos feel Saloon approaching?
You feel nothing. That void inside of you is what now seems to exist, but you feel umbrily panicking.
Yeah, mentally he's reaching out. Puddles? Stony, what the fuck is happening?
It's not right. She shouldn't be able. It's not right.
What's not right?
She's hosted with another. It shouldn't be possible.
Who? Puddles, use words.
Hell if I know!
You said she. Who's she?
She's hosted with another. Saloon!
Moon Tits is here. Fine.
As if you can almost hear us through gritted teeth. Yes. Her. Looking for her all this time, and yet...
Right. Which one of you wants to punch her in the fucking mouth?
What?
He's talking to both Umberly and to Groombar in his head.
Yeah.
You mostly just got a response of basically shocked silence from the deities on that one.
Yeah. As an audience member, I said, "What?"
You can't be serious.
What other option do we have?
Run!
Lord, I admire you trying to deck me out back in Dunmoric, but this might be a wee bit out of your league. Saloon ain't no joke.
Fuck.
Pact's broken. Who knows what she can do now? Fuck. Is this what she wanted? Fuck. I am going to boil the seas!
Well, how about you help me out then? And Anderos is going to use his 2 sorcery points that he got and compel, if she will, Umberly to fuse with him for water form.
She will.
Okay. So yeah, he grabs her and forces into water form, which means I regain 6 spell slot levels. So he will regain a a 5th level and a 1st level. It's got no sorcery points anymore, but he has a 5th level slot and a 1st level slot now.
Okay.
And with that, he's really just in waiting right now. So he doesn't know what to do about Saloon approaching, but he feels, if nothing else, he'll have one of his gods assisting.
Odril.
The door is solid, right? There's no window or bars or...
Nope. It's a solid door. Much to, the guard not a blinding headache every time they're posted out there.
Yeah. He will just, again... So Seabreeze has dropped to the floor. Is she like, crouching? Trans?
Sorry, I was muted. No, she's grabbing you by the... Well, the dwarf is grabbing upwards at your shoulders at full height.
Yeah. He drops down and, seeing the clear anxiousness, panic? I don't know what Seabreeze's face is.
Panic.
He kneels down. What is happening? Very, whispers.
Saloon is coming.
Goddess of the moon? How?
Yeah, nodding vigorously.
Yeah, he just turns back to Amara and points up. Let's go. Now! And, he's gonna draw his weapons and just stand ready.
Apsinthos.
He's going to continue to converse with Amara, asking, "Who is she?"
She stares at you a bit dumbfounded.
Now is...
Moon?
But why?
Don't have the time to explain it. You need to run.
And what about Ren? Ren be kind of looking over to Ren.
Can't leave. Must never leave.
Second, well, I need to see a wording on it's not Dimension Door. There's a 5th level spell whose name I'm blanking out on.
What kind of spell is it?
It's like a teleportation spell. It's like
Far Step?
no, it's a Far Step. Yeah, it might be.
Far Step is basically...
It's self only. Yeah.
Or are you
The other
thinking
one
like
that was...
a mass teleportation thing?
Yeah, because you have
Arcane-
Dimension Door, right?
Arcane Gate is the one that can share with everybody. That's a 6th level spell.
Oh, dang. I did not pick that one up. That was on the list. Apologies, I gotta look at the long spell list here. Is anything I think I could teleport myself one other person out of there.
For the record, what's Anderos' mom's name?
Amara.
Amara?
Amara, thank you. I've been screwing that up forever.
Can't be as bad as me saying the wrong way of Kasdeya.
They're good names.
Teleport. Yeah, I can't twin it. It would just be my bring along objects, succeeding the weight. I apologize for not even thinking about
No worries.
straight out teleporting. I don't think there's I can't think of anything that actually gets all of us out here. I can get myself out of there, no problem. It's just, well, at least everyone else high and dry. It's not really in his MO.
Yeah, you have anything that would get like you and someone you touch, or
Couldn't think of anything.
vortex ward?
Wait. Got me onto something there.
Yeah.
Must make a con save. The target is teleported to an 90 feet.
Yeah, so you could just go over to the barred window and look at Ren and teleport him outside.
Here's the only thing that stopped me mentally from doing that, which is we're gonna teleport Ren out there and we're all gonna freaking die.
That's a start to a better encounter than all of us are just sitting in here, though. And I think that's... I'm metaing. Sorry.
The biggest problem
That's
with moving
true.
Ren is we can't touch him without taking serious damage.
Damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Ren gets out, then it's something, but who knows what's gonna happen afterwards. Will Ren come back as a zombie? Especially if...
If you do nothing, I guarantee you, Saloon walks through that door and all of us don't get a chance to do anything. This is it right now.
You know what? We're gonna let Salty have half a decision, because I'm gonna want to call upon the Void and have get Ren out.
Oh. Yikes.
I'll hurt a little bit.
Okay, so two things, I suppose. One, what is the intent of the spell, or do you have a specific spell in mind you're trying to form with it?
My initial thought would be, I think Vortex Ward probably isn't a terrible idea, given that it gets Ren physically out of the room, probably onto like the floor and the ground outside. I mean, we are in the middle of a giant city, so there's not really much better spot than outside of this room.
Second question is, how much of a dick do I want to be?
There's
Let
a
it
god
dice
in the hallway. I mean,
We're probably gonna get smoted one way or another.
Mostly because that's not Ren.
Oh shit, you did it again.
I kept saying Ren. It's like, no, you think
no.
We didn't. We had no way of knowing it was or wasn't Ren. Anderos made an assumption.
It's Ren's body.
Ren, by definition, is... I mean, I guess if it's a argument of do you want to define him by his soul or by his physical old form, that there is something else entirely at this point. It is the old body of Ren, but what it is now is not Ren. Ren is a soul in a construct in Jirarag.
Jirarag.
Madeline has already had him ask the wrong question once before. Can she use void bullshit and interpret it for him?
I mean,
Void bullshit. Let's go.
Roll her eyes
Come on,
at her
man.
brothers.
You fucking hit.
there's prejudice,
You should,
man.
you should understand this by now. The semantics are important, brother.
We're gonna... You know what? Because this is D&D, we're gonna leave it to dice roll. Because that's
Hey.
the most fair way, right? We're gonna roll a d20, 1 to 10. You name Ren, and it's going to act as though that's the target of the spell. 11 and up, and it will actually... Madeline will slap you upside the head and fix your target for you.
Oh, you want me to roll?
Well, yes. Me rolling is not...
Yes!
Oh my
Goodness!
Oh.
Yeah.
Apsinthos, you call upon it, summoning this little magic, the runes cross your hand, you shout this out, and you feel a mental slap at the back of your head. Fuck's sake. You never learn, brother. That's not Ren.
What's in it? Talking to Madeline.
It's a husk. Former shell of a person. What's in there now is far beyond what Ren would ever hope to achieve. If you want to move it... What level spell can you go up to now? For your thing?
I thought we did 5th, is what we agreed on with. I mean, technically I could cast a Mystic Arcanum at 6th level. But I thought for balancing purposes we agreed up to a 5th level spell for
So I was double checking to... Let's see, how does that work?
I didn't realize Dominate Person's only 5th level.
It is restricted to humanoids only. That's where the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only that worked on a god.
Okay, so it's gonna try to cast... Going to try to cast Vortex Warp, but... This thing is going to try to resist it. Jeez.
Wow.
Spell save is
7.
where is it?
17?
think
Wasn't it
it's
17?
I think it should be 17. Because you've got
Yeah,
the...
17. Yeah. There we go.
Alright. Where are you teleporting it? Because it has to be a spot that you can see within range.
Like just out on the ground outside the window.
You cannot see there. You are on the 2nd story floor with a window that shines brighter than anything else. Because Bean could not see through it.
Oh, so it's double way, can't see through it.
Yes.
Can you get him back
Oh.
up into the ceiling?
Can I teleport it up to the ceiling so it could fall on the ground?
I'm sorry, what? You want to
Sorry.
drop him in the air and have him fall? I believe the spell does not allow that.
No, my brain was on autopilot thinking, oh, of course I could see through out the window because all the bright light was shining inside, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right. If you have it bright enough, probably can't see outside either. I'm thinking, where can I see in this room that's relatively far? If I can't see outside, I'm basically limited to this room. And teleporting it somewhere in this room
Doesn't help.
doesn't really help at all.
Trying to think of another spell that would work, but all the other ones require
Yeah,
Dimension
the high
Doors
level.
yourself, and you can't upcast it. There's not another
Yeah.
teleportation spell in that range.
Really can't see like anything outside that window.
Nope. As Seabreeze may have figured out, there is something odd about the window itself.
Man, didn't see that in the vision, huh?
They just saw a window. They didn't see the fact that it was a magical window.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you're trying to house a god and keep onlookers from figuring it out, you kind of have to have some degree of magical protection.
Yeah, huh.
It's not just going to be iron bars.
I know, maybe the god could be arrogant enough. Oh man.
Well, at least if you can get it unshackled, maybe it kills us before Saloon can. I don't know.
Well, I guess I still can have the spell storing dagger with the protect our hearts. I'm not sure that's gonna do anything.
We're just gonna get
Incinerate you all. All that's left are your hearts.
Yeah, I was gonna
beating up
say.
on the floor for the last few seconds.
everyone disintegrated, but our hearts.
Oh, can you see down through the grating?
Oh yeah, that'd probably be the only other thing. Oh, that'd be really rough. That's gonna have like 90. If Sloon doesn't want to kill us then, she'll definitely want to kill us now.
He's gonna
just
do
teleport.
whatever but don't worry about Saloon. Like the whole point of this whole expedition was to get
The husk out.
Yeah, or whatever.
I mean, how far down? Can I see the bottom of that?
I mean, first and foremost, we're jumping ahead of things that you've cast a spell and now you're looking for a target and moving afterwards. If you want to get fully technical on the
That's true. That's true.
the play on that.
Yeah, don't worry about it then.
Unless you're trying to go fully like that doesn't work.
No, because I picked up mental prison as the mystic arcanum, which would be.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else that would potentially get him to leave the room in a sense. Catapult can't affect him.
So it's not a corpse. It's a creature still.
It's for the
I'm pretty sure I know what
purpose
it is,
of
but yeah.
the setup. It's basically a possessed body.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Like functionally, it's not a person anymore, but it is alive by the sheer sake of magic, like what they've been healing it repeatedly, and the thing that lives inside it now.
It's chained onto the thing, right?
Yes, it is chained to the grate beneath it.
So telekinesis is probably it. How well ironed out is that grate?
I mean, you don't really have the... Again, if we're trying to resolve the spell effect, you don't really have the opportunity to inspect or do much more at this point, since we are in structured time. Not trying to make it,
Yeah. No, I get it. 'Cause
crazy,
the only
but
thing
if
was
you guys wanted structure
telekinesis?
time for this, so...
Yeah.
Let's. You don't have to be punitive, though. I mean, we kind of assumed, and I definitely got blindsided by the fact that when he started to ask to cast the spell, that the window was opaque, in essence. I'm not sure that he would have started down that line of thought had he known, which, looking around the room, I'm guessing he would have. Am I way off there, or?
Yeah, I should
mean-
have asked if the window was opaque or not with.
I feel like you would have seen it, though.
I'm not entirely sure, because again, I don't know what the intent of the spell initially was, apart from...
Well,
so the other
initially
half
was-
of that, even if you could
Mhm.
see outside, even if we were to
Okay.
go on the idea that you thought you could see outside, Vortex Warp does not let you teleport into midair.
Yeah, because then I can't see. It's so high up at the angle I couldn't see out in the ground. So.
Well, yeah, it's part of the spell does say it has to be a space that could sustain the creature. You cannot just lift them up and drop them for fall damage, basically, I believe is the intent of that. So even if you could see out the window, from the fact that you're on a second floor, looking up at a window, you're not going to be able to see a spot to teleport him to. So regardless of the window in that existence,
Mhm.
you could try teleporting him to the roof in the holes you've cut if you wish to put him on the roof, because you can see through the holes that you've basically put through the two layers of ceiling. We can change the intent of the spell in terms of whether the get it out is a vortex warp or another spell. I just can't think of another spell off the top of my head immediately that would fit the bill.
Yeah, I can't think of much easier at that. Yeah, you know what? I totally forgot about the hole in the roof that we just got. I was.
Unless you are
Gates of water.
attempting to do Dimension Door and touching him,
I would not
which will
touch him. I would.
incur damage. So,
I
but
would
Dimension
get
Door
him.
would work.
Yeah, I would get him up in the roof area that we had. Because it's really the only other place I could think of. I can't see the bottom of the shaft. I need to get him just away from the chain. We got probably about 9% chance of all of us dying here, but at least maybe if Ren's corpse or whatever's possessing it isn't there, maybe something will happen. Yeah, screw it. Let's put it up in the hole in the roof area. So up in the plenum or whatever the
So in
interstitial
the-
space is called.
You're putting him in the interstitial space or on the top of the building?
Can I see the top of the building?
You can see the edges of what you've cut out, so I will say you could potentially get him onto the edge of where you on the roof if you want to go that far.
Yeah, I think the farther the better. Well, let's get as far as you can. Maybe he'll
Alright.
touch grass.
He's going to be on the roof, so you better hope he doesn't touch grass from there. With a silvery mist and calling upon the void, kind of taking over said mist and turning into a dark, purple-esque form, this creature is teleported from his bonds, reappearing at the top, kind of with a slump laying on top of the roof, and you hear a sizzling as just the immense radiant pressure from this thing is disintegrating the roof tiles. And Amara stares at you with wide-eyed panic. You done?
Stop, Ren.
Chaos.
And with a shudder, you feel the floor vibrate beneath you.
What are you out?
That's not good.
Go, go, go!
I mean, he could do his bonus action fly thing, get out of this room, like Mary Poppins.
Guys, I
you
did my
grab Amara
bit.
first?
I'm out.
Can you grab Amara and go?
Can I get Ramara in this, or am I just able to?
It's vortex warp, so no, unless you're doing something else.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Mara probably would resist. That'd be another action.
No, I mean, if you were to cast fly on yourself, could you grab Amara and go?
Well, the genie thing, yeah, it's kind of like that, but I'm not sure Amara's going to willingly come with me, especially since I've basically ruined her life's work.
Oh my goodness.
You know, it's like if someone, like you're making a pizza, and somebody eats the pizza, you know, it's...
What?
I'm sorry, my brain... Then when I said my brain...
I
shuts
have
down.
no words right now.
Can you get Amara out or not?
I am going to try to get him right now because I'm going to use the bonus action to cast. It's a name for it. I'm blanking on it.
Genie's gift or something.
Genie's,
yes.
yeah, elemental gift or something.
It's the
Yeah.
sorcerer storm something. Or
I'm gonna
other,
cast
right?
elemental gift or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
After I cast,
subclass
you know.
feature.
or
Yeah.
find, you know.
Fine, you know.
You're fine.
Well, you
Yeah,
found, you know.
No.
After 101
found you
sessions,
know.
maybe this time for a new character, I'm going to try, I would say, air quotes, try and grab Amara, but I doubt she's actually going to be willing to.
So say, yeah, she is going to fight back, and you notice she is trying to desperately scramble over to the grate and start casting a spell into it.
Well, I'm going to go in the interstitial space as I see the body melting above me.
The roof tiles melting and the body about to fall
Yep.
on your head.
Well, he's going to try to step out of the way for that.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Thamor.
Thamor might not be here.
Oh,
He left. Wait.
He's got to let the dog out.
Yeah,
He readies his weapon.
all right. He raises his weapon. Hildy.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna do the safe thing. I think that having noticed all of this go down, like Apsinthos has taken off, Ren's body is gone, and now Amara looks panicked and is running over to the grate. I think she's gonna take a step toward Amara, and then she's going to stop quickly, and she's going to put down a protector cannon, and I can choose to make this a tiny creature. So I'm going to make it a tiny size cannon, but it still has legs. So as I'm holding it, it's my action to produce the cannon. And then as a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and let the cannon give out some temp HP. So how much was that? 1d8?
I think 2d8 now.
2d8. Yeah, you're right. So hold on.
Or, yeah, is it 2d8 plus your int mod?
Yeah, so 2d8 plus 5. So that is a 6 and a 6 plus 5 for everybody within 10 feet of where I am currently standing gets 17 temporary hit points. So it would be, I think it would hit everyone in this room,
Yeah. Everybody but
including
me.
Ren's body, I think. Well, no, he's on the roof right now.
Yeah.
10 temporary?
10.
Yeah.
It's 17.
How many
10 or
feet does it go
17?
to? 10 feet or 30 feet?
Within 10 feet. Anyone within 10 feet of me.
Okay, yeah, I might be far enough
It's
away.
Oh,
10 or
you might be out of
17.
it.
Yeah, which is
How
17.
many- how-
6 plus 6 plus 5.
Yeah, 17
okay,
temp
17
hit points.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. And then holding the tiny cannon, she's just going to tug on Odril's sleeve and just hand him the cannon and say, just hold this. So the cannon is going to move with Odril, is basically how I'm setting this up.
That's
And
activity.
and then she's going to make her way toward Amara. Will you please explain what the hell's going on? We need to get out of here.
Her eyes are wide in panic, and she seems to be ignoring you at this point. And all you hear her muttering is, "What have you done?" Is
Yeah.
it the end of your turn?
I guess so. Yeah, there's not much else I can do.
You feel a violent shudder as the entire building seems to shake. And Amara, in a panic, casts a daylight into the cell beneath. But you see her, again, wide-eyed, panicking, trying to cast a spell and looking up. What have you done?
You tell us! What the fuck?
To be fair, we invaded her room and teleported the body.
I told you he must never leave.
Ren's the one who asked us to get his body back. What is going on?
You think Ren knows what's best? Anyway, the thing just lays up there lifelessly, light and radiant energy pouring from every orifice as it burns holes in the tiles above. Kasdeya at this point is also just panicking, seeing kind of what's going on. She's like, what do we do? Mom,
Get her
come
out.
with us.
Get her out now. I don't know what the
I
fuck's
don't-
happening, but we gotta go.
I don't have. She kind of climbs down and she stands next to Amara, trying to shake her, but Amara is pushing her off, kind of just glaring at her with sad eyes and mouthing the words "go." The floor shudders yet again, and you swear you hear what sounds like the breaking of glass. Seabreeze.
I'm gonna do something really weird. Let's see if it works. Where is it? Okay, let me just read the spell one more time. Okay. Yep. 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 Okay, I think this is gonna work. Seabreeze. There's gonna be a little bit of numbers for the movement here. So, how how far away from me in movement terms, knowing that I basically go up and across any surface as if it was normal, is the Ren body / things that's melting through the roof?
I would say about 30 feet from floor to top, like where the hole to the actual ceiling would go.
Mhm.
So if you're standing on the ceiling, 10-ish feet, roughly like vertical distance, and then the 5, 10, 15, 20-ish feet-ish horizontal.
Okay. Seabreeze will go up and outside onto the roof surface. And cast Tensor's floating disc underneath the body to get it off the roof.
Hmm.
As you
And
lift it up,
then-
you see like the the tiles underneath have sizzled away and almost formed a perfect like indent of where the body was laying.
And it's
And it even seems
ceramic
to
too, so
sizzle
it's
as
like
a-
lava. It's
It even
crazy.
is sizzling against your disc, as though competing for magical superiority against it.
Oh yeah. And then forgive me, but I need to know the layout of the roof because this thing will follow me. It can't make. It's a lot of text, but it's like it can't go over a 3-foot. Yeah, floats 3 feet above the ground. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Is mobile 20 feet. It can move across uneven terrain. Can't cross an elevation change of 10 feet or more. So my objective is to move the body as far from here as I can, knowing that 10-foot restriction for the disc won't go.
I mean, you'd be pretty much confined to just dancing around the spires of the roof.
Right, but hopefully they adjoin.
I mean, they do. It's a solid roof. It's not like there's holes, so there's points where you can travel across it.
Okay.
It's just you can't travel up any of the spires to get to the top, nor will you be able to really drop down.
That's fine. I think my objective is just to go this direction, like down, basically away from Saloon. I'm trying to get as far from Saloon as I can.
All right.
With the body. And assuming that was my action, it's going to be quite a ways. Let's see. What happened to my... Sorry. Close my character sheet for no reason. And it won't open again. Awesome. All right, well, I'll just estimate it. So, I will go 45 to the south and then bonus action dash. And then also use the feline. Okay, now I can't find it.
Feline agility.
Feline agility.
Yeah, feline agility basically doubles your base movement. So you'd have 90 feet on the first move,
Sheet just open.
and then 90 feet on a dash.
Seabreeze, also roll me a perception. You're on the roof, right?
Yeah.
Roll me a perception.
Perception is 18.
You're transporting the body in a panic. You're up there looking around, but that roll, just perhaps out of the corner of your eye, catch it. It's unsettling, maybe, and that's why maybe it catches your eye. The enchantment that was surrounding the city, that kept the sunlight ever warm in the city of the sun,
Oh, fuck.
Cracks are forming in the skyline around you. A
So
red
there's like
light
a
shines through.
dome effect where
Yeah,
it's like,
remember it's always sunny here.
Shit.
but like, is that bad or is that good?
And there's a red light pouring through the cracks.
Oh, that's bad.
Okay, that's
Okay.
probably bad.
Do I need to teleport the body back to its chains?
That
I
might not
mean-
be the worst idea in the world.
But what? I don't know what we're doing here then. All right. Well, I succeeded in not getting the body to burn a hole through the roof. So, I suppose I am okay with being 30 feet away from the hole in the spire with everybody else in it. Does that make sense?
Yep. So let's reveal it.
So I will have to have traveled 20 beyond that to get the disc to follow me. But that's okay. I have plenty of movement. So, yeah, that's plenty. So yeah. That's my turn.
Being that a call saloon moves forward, presses her hand to the door, it swings open noiselessly. Anderos, the vision before you is almost like staring in a dream. It's a familiar face.
He can see her through the floor because he's upstairs still.
Yep. She just walks in, an aura of power just commanding about her. Through her saloon walks on this earth. She looks over at the grate. A warm smile seems to dance upon her face as she then looks up through the ceiling, looking right at you, Anderos. Told you once I was sorry. But thank you for everything you've done. With that, she just lifts her hand, and a cloud of darkness seems to erupt from her fingertips, covering the hole Amara is so desperately trying to cast daylight upon. And the skyline above you all ruptures into a fine red light.
Was this a spell? Probably not.
Yes and no. It's a spell from her, but the effects of the after effects are several things going on at once.
Can it be countered?
I would say it can't, since it is a spell effect, not a spell in and of itself.
Okay.
For some of you, a scene that has played out before dances once again in front of your eyes. Above you, through the hole in the ceiling, where you can see the sky, the bright, warm sun that had once filled the city of Whiteleaf has turned red. A single crescent moon now dots its surface. Goes quiet. Goes still. And Saloon, in the host of Lucette, smiles warmly at Anderos. I'm sorry. Why don't we try this again?
You bitch!
in a flash, it all goes red. You were all gathered around a campfire. It's the first quest you've had, as assigned from the Adventurers Guild. You're there to go help a odd storekeep, some town called Tilbrook. Doesn't really pay much, but hey, you get to be adventurers, right? We will pick up from the broken world you have created.